Why does a submissive enjoy being handled, owned, or dominated roughly? That is the question that was posed. So I have my answer already written down. I can show you. Let's see. I have my little outline here ready to go. But for those of you submissives who like being handled, who like it a little bit more rough, who like a little bit of CNC play, role play, whatever, what about coaxing a dominant to be more aggressive, more primal, give more ownership, right? What's the draw for you, subtypes? So I'm going to give you all a moment to share your insights as well. I'll share my answer, but this is a conversation. This is a beautiful community, beautiful conversation, and I love all of your insights so much. Coming at you, we've got subtypes in the community right now that are going to share their insights with you, which I think is going to be very, very helpful and insightful, especially because we have so many different subtypes here. And that's the thing. BDSM is not a closet to come out of. It is a buffet to choose from. That same principle applies to submissive personalities. Why they like what they like. You can take 5 submissives who like impact play, and then we'll all give you a different answer of what they like about impact play and why. So it's all very, very organic. So Natalia here is saying it helps her get into a sub headspace in a weird way. It helps me feel safe. Safety. That's the thing. If you're owned, that should be safety. That should be safety. I love that you said that, Natalia. I'm actually going to talk about that point real fast before I read anyone else's, because that was so great how you said that. And a great example to reinforce what Natalia is saying here is my dog Jamie gets groomed like once every 3 months. And of course, they have to take his collar off to, cut his hair and everything like that. Well, when I bring him home, this last time they had turned his collar around, so our address is on the front and his name is on the back, and I, of course, was going to just flip that around. So I took his collar off real fast, and Jamie hates when I take his collar off, just like any good submissive. Jamie hates when I take his collar off, and he will, reach for it and try to bite it and hold on to it because he doesn't like being without it. And my philosophy with his response, and I know we're talking about a canine, not a human pet, but it very much translates. He loves having his collar on because that's a sign of ownership. But his ownership, hang with me, is a sign that he has a home. He has people. He has safety. Ownership should produce safety. And so I love what you're saying, Natalia, that feeling overpowered and handled and owned by someone that you trust revs up that level of ownership and therefore your sense of safety. I love that. I love that. So Little Faye is saying that it makes you feel special and safe and like you're wanted and cherished. Love that. So I think what Little Faye is speaking to right now is the pursuit element of a little bit more aggression, right? If you think about it, people pursue what they want. That's why it's so difficult to make someone, work out when they don't want to work out. Like, we pursue pleasure, naturally. We pursue what we want. And so if a submissive is seeing such a hard, intense, aggressive pursuit, it does boost their ego because they're like, I'm wanted. They're hunting me down. They're chasing me. Like, they're hungry for me. And I absolutely see that too, Little Faye. Is that kind of what you were speaking to there? And Natalia, feel free to jump in and chime in with my answer as well. So John says, I love the powerlessness and stress relief. I can't really say why that is, though. It's just blissful. What I can explain better is that it shows trust. It shows me and the top that I trust them not to hurt me while causing pain. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this can be applied to impact play scenes or scenes without any impact play. But yes, it boils down to trust. It's a deep, deep exchange of trust. When you trust someone so deeply to be rough with you, to kind of manhandle you around a little bit, throw you around like a rag doll, because you like it. You like that passion and that energy, but you also feel safe because you can trust. That is just a beautiful, beautiful concoction. I love that she mentally shows her control, but the rougher physical play shows her physical control. So again, if you want to give up control consensually to someone that you love and that you trust, that control, when they exert their authority, when they exert their power, when they exert their control over you, it's going to just fuel why you gave that control up in the first place. Absolutely. That makes total sense. Good. I'm glad I understood you, Patrick. That makes total sense. I feel like the feeling of being wanted and protected all at once. Yes, you feel protected because you know that the dominant isn't going to harm you, but we feel owned because we don't know what to expect. It's this delicious concoction in the brain. Feeling like you belong and the dominant being more aggressive or being more primal or making me feel owned gives you feelings in the belly. It's like, please do as you wish. Gives me feelings in the belly. Yes. I believe that Miss Elle's kitten would refer to the feelings in the belly as a subby shuffle. Is that correct? Did I get the right term for it? Yes, I got the right term for it. So what you're feeling is a little subby shuffle. A little subby shuffle. Beyond that, I jotted down a list of things that, in my experience, are good whys behind the what to this question. What are submissives really looking for when they want to be handled? What are they wanting to get out of it? And so a couple of the things that I jotted down here is, and a lot of you have said it, a lot of you have said a lot of things on this list, which I love. But one of them is like what Natalia was saying, is being small and little, feeling small, feeling little, right? Being overpowered and feeling controlled. Being led and guided. Knowing that someone is leading you and guiding you mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually. That's like, I'm giving up all of my control. Yes, surrender. Absolutely, absolutely. Submissive arousal. They desire also to feel free of inhibitions. This is a big part of it, is a lot of times submissives want feisty things just like you, dominants, but they don't want to have to tell you, I want you to overpower me and do all these things, because that, just even them stating that request, one, can make them feel very, very vulnerable and they will avoid it sometimes. Or if they get in that space, they feel like it's less authentic because they told you what they wanted. They laid it out. They're like, now they're just following a script. And I don't want a script. I want the raw emotion. So I think that one of the reasons why submissives love being handled, a little bit more of a primal, aggressive kind of ownership or kind of play, is that they don't have to make those scary requests. They can kind of just sit back and let it happen to them without verbally stating it. And I've run into that a lot as well. Because they do. They want to freely express themselves. They want to be free of their inhibitions. But you, as the dominant, they're looking to you to strip those inhibitions away. And sometimes they want a little pushback. They like, well, I like my inhibitions. Don't take my inhibitions away. If they haven't called their safe word, keep going. It's frustrating to tell someone. Puts you out of subspace. Well, there you go. There you go. I think another one is, and I was kind of just talking about this, freedom and safety to explore and to fully express. If they want to cry, if they want to scream, if they want to whatever, they get to do that in a safe environment with their dominant. So I think that's another point of submissive arousal. Like we all were saying just a moment ago, feeling seen and hunted and pursued is a really great confidence boost. Really good confidence boost for submissives. Also, a big one that I found also is just the anticipatory energy that you create of being a little bit more detached. You create this anticipatory energy for your submissive where they feel more out of control, more owned. because they don't know what to expect. They don't have the answers. And then, like Miss Elle's Kitten was saying, free of stress and free of active thoughts. Sometimes the gateway to the brain is the body. And sometimes the brain and the emotions are so overwhelmed that talking your way through it is not as beneficial as if you could just break down the physical inhibitions that are often holding up the mental and emotional ones, and it causes a tremendous release. So I see all of those as benefits as well behind submissive arousal, for sure.